Let's bring in Dr. Vanessa Kerry, the CEO of Seed Global Health and the special envoy for climate change and health for the WHO, the World Health Organization. Dr. Kerry, thank you for being with us. I'm just going to reiterate the president's words there. He called climate change the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world. What was your reaction to that statement coming from the president of the United States?
I personally don't think it's very helpful for us at this point to be focusing on the divisive language that is coming out of the UN. I think that whether you call it climate change or you call it the greatest hoax, the reality is it is here. We see this in the summers that are getting hotter, the increasing frequency of extreme weather events, cyclones, hurricanes that are challenging all of our communities. I'm a physician, and we see how people aren't able to go to work because their child has an asthma attack and ends up in the hospital, or people are having heart attacks that are keeping them out of work for weeks. And so I think what we really need to be focusing on at this point is how we can all come together around common solutions that ideally cut greenhouse gases, which are making us sicker, or bringing solutions to communities so we can protect lives and livelihoods.
Decades of research has said that climate change is very real and it's mostly caused by humans, and it's getting worse. And organizations like the UN have warned that waiting too long to act could cause serious damage to both the planet and, as you mentioned, people. Is there concern that the president's comments could hurt climate change research here in the U.S.?
I think that we are, again, at this opportunity where we're seeing that there's just a truth that is coming forward at this point. And we know very much that there is a huge amount of activity that is happening. We're not going to be able to wait for political agreement on this. And we're seeing governors and we're seeing states move forward and really in private sector bring forward solutions that are, again, focused on their constituents, focused on smart solutions that are building jobs, creating economy. I mean, here in the United States, we're already losing $100 billion in productivity to extreme heat. So we're feeling the effects, not just again in our health and not just again in our day-to-day lives, but we're seeing it across our economic opportunity. And so I think that there's still an incredible opportunity to move forward the critical science and investments we need to protect lives and livelihoods. But it is challenging unless we start to focus on what is possible and how we all can see gains across our shared goals of creating stronger economies, protecting lives, and creating safer communities.
But does major climate change activism and research, does it rely on the president's support, or does it operate independently from that?
I think we're seeing that there is a mobilization for climate action that is happening around the world. We are seeing this in countries like Brazil that'll be hosting COP30 that have been very focused on how investments in climate solutions can actually drive economic growth, create jobs, and protect the health and well-being of people. I think we're seeing the private sector think about what sustainability can look like, which is protecting their bottom line and their shareholder value and their workforce at the same time that it's creating solutions for cutting greenhouse emissions and being able to also invest in efforts to combat the changes we're seeing with climate change. And I think that we have to realize that there is the resources out there right now. Private sector companies are sitting on $1.7 trillion worth of assets that could be mobilized towards these solutions that are sustainable and building economic growth. Philanthropy, 1.7 or 1.6 trillion in assets that could be deployed to innovation and really generating the kind of dynamic response we need for this moment. It's a question, I think, again, of coming around common solutions and thinking creatively about how we meet the challenges in a way that is in everybody's best interest and in a shared goal of really creating stronger, more resilient communities, saving lives, and saving money.
Dr. Vanessa Kerry, thank you so much.